Hi, in today's video, we're going to learn how to create custom exceptions. In order to create custom exceptions, we're going to use the raise keyword and exception built in. Okay, so here is an example. Let me illustrate it with an example for you. Here in the try block, we are calling the check age function and we are passing one argument, and this argument is -3. So when we call this function is declared here. This function checks to see if the passed argument, which is age, is lower than 0 or not. So if it's not lower than 0, it is going to say, okay, valid age, then print the age. If it's lower than 0, however, it is going to raise an exception. So raise an exception here stops execution of the program and throws an error when age is negative. So when we would like to trigger an error manually, we're going to use the raise keyword. So I type down the raise keyword and I use the built-in exception. Then in parentheses, I type down the error message that I would like to be shown in the output. Okay. And then this part is finished. So an error is thrown and it is caught by this part. So the except part is going to caught the error and then print the error here in the output. So the way that the program works is the following. So if we're calling the function with a negative number, it is checking it and it says that it's a negative number. It is going to throw an exception and it is going to cut the exception here in the except part and then print the error message for us. However, if we are calling the function and we are passing a positive argument, simply it is going to say that valid age and print the entered number here. So for example, if I enter number 10 and I run the code, we see that in the output it says valid age 10. So when I come here, I see that I'm calling the check age function and I'm passing number 10 as the argument. Then in this function, what happens is the following. 10 is lower than 0. Is it true? No, it's not true. Therefore, this condition is not true, and therefore, this block of code is not going to be executed. However, the print part is going to be executed because it's not a part of the if condition. It's a separate part in the check age function. And we are going to have the valid age message here, and then the number 10, which is the entered age as 10 as the argument, is shown in the output. However, if I change this number and I enter, for example, -3, it's a problem because we cannot check, for example, a human age when it's negative. So it's an error caused by the user, let's say. So we are using the try except block in order to prevent program crashing. Okay, so the crashment of the program is being prevented using try and except block. So when I run the code now, we see that in the output it says age cannot be negative. How come it happens? So in the try block, we are calling the function and passing -3, and this function is called. Now this condition is checked. So -3, is it lower than 0? Yes, this statement is true. Therefore, because this statement is true, we are throwing an exception, and the message for the exception is age cannot be negative. And this thrown exception is caught by the except part here, and then we are printing out the message in the output, which is this one, age cannot be negative. So in this video, we learned how we can create custom exceptions, and this is done using the raise keyword. The raise keyword triggers an error manually. Thank you for watching.